So this is very clearly like we're telling you people in the public where your place is, right? And it's like we encourage you to come so you can learn about the operations of the schools. Yes, we value comments, but we're going to make sure that they're very carefully within these bounds. And I get it. We've had some raucous meetings over the last few years, but it does send the message. Like there's nothing that. So we had actually spent a fair bit of time. They were calling the policy committee. Those of you on the committee, a year and a half. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
we redid this. We read it, and then it was sidetracked. Like Donnie, you didn't want to adopt it because you thought MSA was coming through.
That was October of last year.
Right. So
Rick and I had that conversation.
Right. So we said, okay, we're going to table this. Yep. So MSMA comes out with this, which again, very lawyerly. It's like, okay, we're going to. We want to make sure this is all contained in a nice little box. And it's fine, right? But it is very unfriendly and user unfriendly, and it does send a message like, you people stay over here, and if you want, we're going to make sure that you know that you can't step out of these lines. And I think there is a way to balance that. But I thought this battle, and we revised it completely and had this all laid out, and it's not. We need a new policy on the books. The current one is not good at all.
No,
this is marginally better. But
it's interesting though. Like people might not realize how many laws we're obligated to follow. Like we're not the ones setting, and these are directions on how you're supposed to participate.
We're just here to. We're going to stand by whatever they tell us. Well, this is not though like the previous policies where it's written into law. So this is
not written into law.
This is dropping Woodstone saying, well, these are some ideas that we put together. Yeah. So this is not.
Hold on a second. There are a couple of things that are impactful, which is why the last time we had this on the agenda was October of last year, because that was Rick and I, like one of your very first meetings. We had already had conversations earlier that day because of errors in some policies that were reflected back to us from Drummond Woodson. And we had also received a notice from MSBA that they were having a special webinar forum to talk about challenges because of several lawsuits that districts were paying out chunks of money for as related to public comment. And so while they're not law, right, we tried to get some language changed through law, statute that wasn't accepted. One was the word citizen versus resident, right? So that, that was one, versus there's a variety of other things. And so this was the language that put together to help districts stay out of lawsuits and also to keep things running in an effort to provide guidelines as needed, because there's some flexibility in there. We were trying to figure out how it was going to work, but there is, so that we were putting our residents and our citizens of our communities first versus citizens in the state of Maine first. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, right?
Citizens, right? Anywhere. So,
big part of that because we're in context. I mean, it's rightfully Grant Chris. I mean,